Now it's time for Perspective. My guest on the programme today is a photographer based in Kyiv who began his artistic life taking mostly images of Ukraine's youth, notably amongst Ukraine's queer community. When war, though, came to the country, the tone of his project changed, simply as some of those he'd photographed or wanted to photograph had been or were being enlisted to fight. Well, his books feature images taken from his archive as well as the lives of young people at war, away, though, from the front lines. We're going to look at some of the pictures in just a moment with Vic Bakin, who joins us now from Kyiv. Thanks very much for joining us on the programme. First of all, just tell me what your aim with your pictures are. What are you trying to create, if you like?
Hi, thanks for having me, Stuart. Well, I just wanted to put on paper, the scars that we all hold inside us, and I want to just show this, show how I feel the world, or how the world feels around me. So I was in 2022. I was visiting the occupied territories, and
And that's when you start. That's when you picked up your camera, as it were. Let's look at some of the pictures. The first one I pulled out is one that it's called Westward, doesn't it? This from your award-winning book. It is now called Epitome. You took this picture back in 2014, I gather, when Russia annexed Crimea. Tell us about it.
Yes, exactly. I took this picture from a train that goes west to Kyiv in 2014. When Russia annexed Crimea and invaded Donbass. And later in 2022, I was printing it in my darkroom, in my makeshift darkroom, in my apartment. And, there was this story like how those bruises appear. All the photo shops were closed in Kyiv because of the full-scale invasion. And I used the same chemistry to fix the pictures again and again. And next day I just found out that all the pictures from this batch just were covered with bruises. And then I later realized that this exact landscape was seen by so many people, like thousands, if not millions, that fled the war in 2022. Because as we know, it's like 5 to 7 million people left the country.
And you sort of juxtaposition, don't you, some of the pictures of people on the brink of adulthood encounter with some of these landscapes. We've got a picture now, which I know has become one of your sort of signature pictures of Sasha from Mariupol.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like I have to put those two together, the Sasha from Mariupol, his story is interesting. He was raised in Mariupol, Donetsk region, and his mother survived the occupation in Irpin near Kyiv. And his father in Mariupol was listed dead for some time due to a mistake. And I took this picture in 2020. And then I was looking through my archive in 2023 to find something, and I found this picture, this stare, and I was interested actually in his stare, not his identity. So that's why I cropped it like this, And then later, his skull features became the book cover.
Mm. Yeah, see, I can see why you picked it. It is the stare, isn't it, which is particularly emotional,
absolutely.
if you like. Yeah. You're working on a new book as well, aren't you now, called Hell Was Full. We've got a preview, a little sneak preview, if you like, of the new book. This is a picture you took of Sophie and Echo. Tell us about this one.
This is the very, unusual young couple, Sophia and Echo, that I met in Kyiv. They serve both together, in different places, but they have those small moments when they could reunite together. So that was the case for this photography. she's like 19. She was last year 19, and she works at the front line as a combat medic. And Echo is a soldier in the 3rd Separate Brigade. And yeah, we just had this peaceful moment, together to photograph them. And
yeah, it brings it home, doesn't it? The fact that obviously people carry on their ordinary lives around what's going on
absolutely,
in Ukraine.
yes.
Yeah. And
Yes,
finally,
yes,
let's
yes.
have a quick
and
look
a
at
lot of couples.
Sorry,
yeah,
carry on.
Yeah, a lot of couples serve, now together. So it's like the father of Sophia fought Russian troops in Donbass in 2014. So it's like, it's all become generation already.
And finally, the last picture we're going to look at individually is one of Sasha.
Yes. Yeah, one of the pictures, Sasha, he's Marine, a 22, 23 years old Marine. He is a POV, prisoner of war, of 2 years. So he was kept in captivity for 2 years and 4 months. And I photographed him last year when he was swapped in the prisoner exchange. And yeah, he told me a lot of bad stories, like he experienced recurring dreams of his family, but also they have, Russia has this prohibition of correspondence between Ukrainian POVs and their families. What is the violation of Geneva Convention? And that meant that for nearly 2 years, his relatives didn't know about him. So he was just missing, And he told me about physical abuse every day, like beating, stabbings, electrocutions, and other acts, Russia do this just not only to extract information, but just to humiliate people,
I noticed earlier you used the phrase a book of scars when you were telling me about the work at the top there, and it's something that I know, you sort of use throughout your work, don't you? But I mean, there are some glimmers of hope, though. Do you see?
Yeah, absolutely. You as a human, you just have to find those glimmers of hope. It could be anything. Like for me, it was a picture of a stork nest. When the stork nest is the symbol in Ukraine for some reason of the family. And when I photographing it in the summer in 2022, I seen those storks came back to this nest, and they were like just staring at me, and I was staring at them, and took this picture. It was a, kind of, I felt like people will come back soon here.
And what's your thoughts with the latest, conversations that we've had over the last 24 hours?
Sorry, you mean what?
Well, the potential for some kind of peace deal.
Oh, well, we have all those different messages coming, especially from USA. It's just, you don't know what to wait for next, actually. It's kind of, I hope that there will be peace, but Ukraine have to be, have those peace from the position of force.
Good
Otherwise,
to have you with us.
Will be destroyed. Yeah.
Good to have you with us, and good to have your views. And thank you very much for sharing your photographs.
Thank you for having me,
with
Stuart.
us. Vic Bakin joining us there from Kyiv. Thank you. Enjoyed looking at the pictures very much.